We're out here at the hog line. We're all set up. We've got everything baited up, including fresh fish out there, so they can smell them and eat them. And we're leaving no stone unturned. For about 8 days, we've been getting pictures of them. Wild boars coming in. They came in the first time about a week ago, about midnight, and they've been coming earlier and earlier. We think tonight they may come in right after dark, maybe 8 o'clock or so, and we're going to try to harvest one. It's a cold night, north wind blowing, half moon, and I'm pretty sure that the conditions are right for hunting tonight.
Too much later that a hog did end up showing up. He came in by the feeder, but then he turned back. Something was bothering him. Yeah, he didn't like something. He sniffed the air. I believe he got wind of me or John one, and he booked him out of there. So as it turned out, our hog hunt turned into a rabbit hunt.
Those rabbits are just not too close.
And you can kind of see where the hind quarter muscles are. And we're just going to come in behind that shoulder blade and then just cut right along till you get up to the front of the shoulder, and then just cut that off. Feel along the ribs till we get down to the very last rib, and then we'll just make an incision right down to the backbone, right along that last rib. Cut the rib cage loose from the, I think most people call this the saddle in the back right here. So you have your rib cage, then you have the saddle, and it's got kind of the belly meat flaps on it. Now I soaked these bits of rabbit in some salt water for 24 hours and kept them in the fridge just to kind of help take some of the, the gamey wild flavor out of it. This kind of helps it just become a little more like chicken. And now I'm coating it in some Cajun, this is chicken fajita seasoning. So whatever you do to chicken, you can also do to rabbit, because it's kind of pretty much of the same cloth. So I'm going to go ahead and roll it around in this chicken fajita seasoning real good. And then you want to towel it dry, pat it dry with a paper towel before you after you take it out of the salt water. But then I've got a little flour bath here. I'm going to just pop them into this bag and flop them around in this flour just a little bit. Now I'm going to take some olive oil here and bring it up to a pretty high heat. When it's just about ready to start smoking, you can turn your fire back just a little bit, and then go ahead and take your rabbit and lay it up in there. Alright, we've been about 2.5 minutes on this one side. Now we're going to switch them over, see how nice and brown that is. Alright, it's been a couple of minutes now, and it looks like we've got both sides of these pretty well glazed up here. I'm going to take 2 cups of diced onions, 1/3 onions, 1/3 tomatoes, and 1/3, it's either bell peppers or jalapenos, probably about an even mix of those. So we'll go ahead and mix that in. Now after that's kind of cooked for a minute or two, then we're going to go ahead and add some dark beer. Oh yeah, we're kind of making kind of a real thick kind of a sauce, I guess is what you'd call it. Alright, we're getting down to some pretty thick sauce there now. And if you got them, you might want to just try and punch a couple of bay leaves up in there. That'll just kind of give it a little bit more flavor. Now because rabbits basically run around a lot, they have tougher muscles, we're going to cook this in our oven on 300 degrees, and I'm going to go ahead and cover it. Now we're going to put it in the oven, preheated oven, for approximately 2 hours. All right, the rice is ready. We're going to have a little dirty brown rice with this. Now the rabbit's ready. I've got it just taken out of the oven. Let me get a pot holder because I imagine that baby is pretty hot. Oh yeah. Now we'll try this back leg quarter. And we got some nice kind of gravy sauce type mix here. We'll just add some of that on there too. Alright, that rabbit is just falling apart. It is nice and tender. Angie says she's waiting for a bite. Want a little bit? I bet you like rabbit just fine, don't you? Oh yeah. You ain't gonna turn your nose up at that rabbit.